Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. With everything that's recently been going on with the pandemic and the lockdown, I thought it would be quite timely to put together a video that is all about self-care during an apocalypse. So as you no doubt know, life continues to be weird and we've all had to try to make some sort of normalcy during this uncertain time. But in order to limit distractions and to hopefully get a little bit more work done, I've decided to come up with some guidelines that I wanted to share with you too. So basically, here's 3 really simple ways to stay sane right now. The first thing is to, of course, limit your consumption of news. Now, I don't mean that you need to be ignorant about what is going on in the world, but you also don't need to check the news every 30 minutes. Or even every day. Honestly, you could probably get away with checking the news once a week because if anything major happens, if there's any huge developments, I am sure you will see it on social media or somebody will tell you about it. Because here's the thing, you actually don't really need to know how many people died in China today. And you also don't need to read soft news pieces about one individual's financial hardship. This information will not enrich your life, it will just make you freak out, and it won't make you better prepared for the future. It's just a means of distraction and distress. Yes, of course, it is incredibly important to be empathetic, but how will reading these types of news stories help you or that person? This is especially important if you are feeling really lost, overwhelmed, or if you're experiencing a lack of control right now. If you're a person who is highly anxious, then exposing yourself to excessive amounts of news will only exacerbate this feeling. Another thing you can do is to break up your routine. Now, this point could be applied to your writing routine or your just daily routine as you go about life and getting things done. As I mentioned in a very recent Instagram post, anxiety and depression are the result of stagnant thought patterns or loops in your mind. And the best way to break up these patterns and to create new neural pathways is to actually mix up your routine. Now, most of us no longer have to commute to work, we don't have to go to social gatherings, and there's no professional events for us to attend. So in this way, we've kind of got a lot more time up our sleeves. You don't have to go to bed by 9 p.m. and you don't really have to wake up by 5 a.m. right now if you don't want to. So now is actually the perfect time to experiment with your writing routine. If you normally write in the mornings, try to write late at night or vice versa. And depending on your living situation, you could also experiment with writing in different locations around your house. The couch, the kitchen table, the back veranda, the bed, the bath.
Throw caution to the wind, my friend.
You could also change up your routine by changing the structure of your day. If you normally work out in the morning, try doing it in the afternoon. You could try going for a walk through a different part of your neighborhood or cook a different recipe for dinner that you've never tried before. If you have a really strict morning routine, say you wake up, do your morning pages, meditate, and then take the dog for a walk, come back and have a cup of tea, just shuffle around the order in which you do these exercises, and it will actually help break up the day and make things feel a little bit different. By shaking things up, you are actually breaking the thought patterns that can lead to thoughts and feelings of boredom, restlessness, fatigue, overwhelm, and yes, of course, anxiety and depression.
Insert obvious disclaimer here.
Now, the third thing you can do is spend more time making art. Now, I'll admit that I'm just as distracted as everybody else is right now. I have had good writing days and bad writing days. But here's the thing, those good writing days are brilliant because for 2 hours, I don't have to think about the fact that we're going through a pandemic, and I don't have to think about the long-term ramifications of a global lockdown. If you find yourself wondering, what is the point of making art during a pandemic? Then I urge you to go back to last week's video and watch it because it's a goodie. Making art is a form of expression, but it's also a form of escapism. Writing days are hard because we're all too aware of ourselves and the fact that the work isn't working. but there is still some value in the activity. At the very least, it's giving us something to focus on. There is something really satisfying about engaging with a challenge, with working through a puzzling plot hole and shaping a piece until it eventually resembles our original intent for the work. On really good writing days, we ceased to exist because we enter the work so fully. While having lunch with my partner the other day, we actually found ourselves discussing the pandemic, rehashing the same concerns. How long will this go on for? Are the numbers tapering off? What's the latest update? Like you, 80% of my conversations wind up being about the pandemic. I mean, how could they not? So when I return to my desk and I resume my work, whether that be writing or research,
It actually seems like a sweet relief.
I can't control what's happening during this health crisis, and I can't control this lockdown, but I can have some control over my creative process. I know that things are weird and unstable at the moment. Some of us are out of jobs. Some of us are navigating around working at home for the first time. Some of us are worried about our health or that of our friends or families. I totally get it. This is an unprecedented time, so please go easy on yourself. Do what you can. Set realistic expectations or don't have any expectations. Just work, rest, play with your dog, get a little sunshine, and drink a little bit of tea or whiskey. This will all be over soon, and hopefully you'll have some really tidy little chapters at the end of this. And maybe you'll also have a whole new appreciation for cafe culture. So there you have it, guys. Those are my 3 tips on how to take care of yourself during this very strange time. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe in order to support my channel or give it a thumbs up. If you want even more writing advice, you can head to my website, taraeast.com. I have over 150 blogs on the website, so there will be something there that will pique your interest. While you're there, be sure to join my email newsletter, because when you do, I'll send you a free gift as a thank you. And this gift is a cheat sheet called The 7 Ways to Stay Motivated as a Writer. And if you're looking for something to read right now, my mystery novel, Every Time He Dies, is available everywhere. It's gotten really good reviews and it has 4.83 stars on Goodreads, which is pretty awesome. You can also find me on Facebook, Instagram, and of course, Twitter. Thank you so much for watching again, guys. I really appreciate it. Now go do some writing.